Well, hello and welcome back to episode 4 of our Survival Let's Play series. Last episode, I'd mentioned that I was going to finish up the enchanting area and get back with you guys on this video to show you what's been done. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do in this video. So as I said last time, I wanted to build that area right here, and this is what I come up with. Used a little bit of the cobble and the stone mix, gave it a little bit of an aged look. And then, did a little something different here for the roof using the acacia logs. It looks really good using those, and it kind of gives almost like a thatch kind of look where it looks like it's mostly straw up there. And I really like it. Added these blocks right here to let you know that, this is the area to come do enchanting. So got some lapis blocks there. As we come into the inside here, as you can see, it's very simple. Went with a simplistic kind of look. Again, I'm only going to be using it for enchanting. But it's a little shop here that you could come and you could do your enchanting. We've got plenty of storage to store books if we ever want to do, enchanted books and things like that. Down here, you got storage for all of our lapis. And of course, stuff to make more bookcases if we need to later on in the future. Got our anvil in the corner. To do some repairs and to add enchantments, and overall I think it looks really good. I said it a couple episodes back, and I really love that they added the chains because it gives it such a nice feel when you come in here. Instead of just a torch on the wall or something, the lanterns and the chains, they really go together well. Also, I noticed that in this back corner I forgot to put the lapis blocks, so I don't know, we might have enough. Let's go ahead and pop those in real quick. And then we'll be on to talk about what we're going to do for this episode. Now, I did do some work over in the village. As I stated before, that's kind of going to be where we're going to work for the next couple episodes. It's going to be a lot of work over there. Again, everybody knows dealing with villagers is not the most fun thing to do in Minecraft, but it can be rewarding when it's done right. And, it's something that we kind of need to do. That way we can get all of our stuff for our equipment. We need our mending books and everything like that. So now that that's back on, that looks much better. This is the area, it's not much, but again, it's something that's simple. It's quite easy to put together, and I think it really fits for the whole theme that we're going with here. So let's go ahead and take a walk down here to the village. Now, I have done some work in between episodes. I've leveled out the area, and as you can see, there's this big monstrosity over here. What I did was I went ahead and built the villager breeder because I wanted to come up with a new design, something that I had never used before, something I really hadn't seen. It's taken a lot of different designs from the past and kind of working them all together, and then this is basically what I came up with. So I'll walk you through everything here, how it works. Again, simple little stalls. Everybody's seen these 100 times before. These are actually in the wrong position. They'll actually be under here. I had to rework it kind of when I was building this. Again, that's why I wanted to do it off camera, because I was building it and tearing it down and building it and tearing it down, trying to get exactly the kind of idea that I was going for. And I want it to fit in with the village. So I went ahead and did like the outline here. We're going to do stone and spruce. But to change it up a little bit, I have collected some materials. We're going to be using the acacia log in some spots. And not really the log, but the planks mostly. But let me jump on up here and I'll kind of show you how everything's going to work. Now, I really like a steampunk-esque kind of vibe where you have switches and buttons and cogs and gears and kind of everything's manual, and you kind of have to work it yourself to make the machine work. So I'm sure everybody's seen this a million times before, but as the cart comes down with the villager, it'll go towards these stalls, and when you flip the lever, you can change it so that they'll go into that stall, and then you flip it back, they can continue on. And that's another reason, I love doing stuff like this, but also I can kind of have a little bit more control over, where I want my villagers placed, depending on the trades that they have. But it's very simple. Once the villager is done up top, he'll come right down this chute and he'll land right here. And this stage, he'll actually be a zombie villager. I guess it would be better if I go ahead and start from the beginning process. So let me just come on up here. So what we've got is a basic villager breeder right here. Again, I'll be manually feeding them. And then as they grow up, they'll come through this slot, which I have controls for over on the other side. I'll show you how all that works. One of these is a dropper for water. Let me go sleep real quick, because I don't need I don't need a creeper spawning anywhere and blowing all this up. But again, you know, I love being able to operate it, pull the levers, watch everything work. I think it's just really interesting. I wish there was a little bit more in Minecraft where you could really set up more of like an automated, you know, kind of, well, not so much automated, but more of a, like, more of an industrial manual, you know, like if they would incorporate like gears where you could actually connect the gears and that would make, you know, other stuff turn and work. That would be awesome. But, you know, it's Minecraft, so you can only do with what you got. So anyway, one of these droppers right here is water. It's got a water bucket in it. This one over here is lava. And I did that just because if I get too many villagers in this area here, and when I open this and they flow in, I don't want too many villagers up here at one time. I want to be able to kind of control how many I've got, and, you know, control the trading and the flow of everything up here. So this dropper over here, that one right there is basically just to help me kill off some of the villagers. So anyway, they'll come through here, and then this block back here will release, and they'll go into this little station where I've got a zombie trapped in here with a block in his hand. And I also name tagged him just to double make sure that he doesn't despawn. But he's sitting there. He'll turn the villager into a zombie villager. Again, I've got a water source right here that'll pump out, and it'll carry him along this track here, and that water source stops right here where he'll pick up in these water source blocks and just kind of carry along until he gets down there to the minecart. Now, once he's in the minecart, I've got this little pad right here that I just fell off of. I've got this pad up here that I'm going to do some more work to, probably maybe extend it over a little bit. But I'm going to create a brewing station here and have everything we need so that when the zombie villager is sitting here, we can hit him with the splash potion, we can feed him the apple, and then, you know, he'll resort back to being a villager with excellent trades, and then he'll go along his business, and I'll send him where I need to send him to. Now, as far as the operations of everything up here and how everything works, so I've got this kind of disabled right now. There's actually supposed to be a secondary piston here, but just because I have so many of these guys up here and for demonstration purposes of the video, I've took that piston out. But basically all you'll do is, so turn off the water. So that path is now clean and clear. And then I would open this block up here, which again, I've got all this disabled. But this right here will slide these two blocks back. The villager will come in here. Then I would close it back, locking this. We would turn the water source back on right there. And then he'll come to this stage here. So if I flip that lever, those blocks come out. He'll come into here. That's actually supposed to be there. So he would come into here, and then that block would be stopping him from traveling that way. Also, something's funky with my redstone. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Whoo, that was luck. That was luck. Oh, that's what you get for messing with villagers and zombies. It's always a headache. And redstone. I tried to make this redstone as simple as possible. I see. I need a repeater. I don't think this will make a difference, but let's see just in case. No, yeah, I'm gonna need a repeater. I'm gonna need a repeater just to get this to here. It did work, but I had to. Oh, that's twice now. He's gonna get me before. He's gonna get me before it's over with if I'm not careful. I had to move everything. This switch actually. I think actually I could do that. No, I couldn't, because this switch was here, but it was interfering with this, so I had to move it over one, which put it just out of range. So I'll get a repeater once we get the materials and I can get that fixed. And what that'll basically do is all that does is activate this bottom piston just so both these blocks come over. It makes it look a little bit nicer, but it's still functional the way it is. But either way, so the villager will come in here, and as a matter of fact, when he's in here is when I'll be doing the trading with him. Go ahead and get his trades up, make sure that he's a villager that I want to keep. Then I send him over here. He gets attacked by the zombie villager, he gets attacked by the zombie, becomes a zombie villager, gets sent on down there, and down to the track. We splash potion, we'll hit him with the golden apple, and then we'll send him on his way wherever he is going to be, depending on what he is. So that's basically it. This took probably a day, a good day to design and build. I should have probably tried it in creative, just to save myself some headache and time. I did have this crazy thing where there was actually two different paths. Like the villager would come out here, and then I could switch the blocks and send them either this way or this way, depending on what profession they were. And then they would come down, and then I had two different drop points, and I had one where it would drop here, and I had another that would drop here, and then one track fed this section and one track fed that section, and it was just too much. I mean, it was insane. So I simplified it. I just did the one path for the zombie. One track kind of connects to everything. As you can see, it'll come down. It'll come down here, and then it'll go, and then it'll kind of loop around, and then it'll go up this track, and then it'll come back around, and then it loops around to that side. And it was really tough kind of fitting all this in such a tight space, because I don't have a large footprint, because I want to keep all these houses that were already here, and eventually I want to build onto them, expand them, make them look a little bit better, but basically keep the shape of the village. I did work on the pathways, as you can see up here as well. Kind of got some of that taken care of and leveled out. And right here, for some reason, creepers will spawn right there and right here every time. So if it's nightfall and I'm there or here, I get blown up almost immediately. So I've got to fix that path there. But basically, I think what we're going to do today is we're just going to kind of take it a little slow. The past couple of videos, we've been doing a lot of time lapses, and I think this one we're just gonna build the outer shell to go around this and kind of see what we come up with. Again, I don't really plan out my builds entirely. This one is a little bit different just because I had to build the breeder and then try to build the building around it. Because if I would have built a building and then tried to fit this breeder in there, I guarantee it would never fit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of just sit here and play with some blocks and see what we come up with. And I'm going to try and talk and not bore y'all to death. Again, it's really hard. I've learned since I've started doing this YouTube that coming up with material just to chat and talk about is kind of difficult. It feels like you're rambling sometimes, and you kind of think that people might get tired of just listening to you talk, but then again, maybe not. You never know. Maybe y'all are interested in the things that I have to say and things that I'm showing you, and if so, that's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go around here. We're going to kind of just place these blocks, and again, I've kind of helped myself out a little bit with predetermining where all this stuff is, and I've kind of got a block palette pretty much laid out already. I've just got it's basically paint by numbers at this point. It's just kind of follow along and place the blocks. We will have to do some detail work in some spots, just to kind of fill in some weird areas. But overall, I think it's going to be pretty easy. We just got to find what I need. There we go. We just got to go along and see what we would come up with. Because again, that's one of the things I love about free building is you can step back and you can look at this and you see this structure, but once you just kind of build up and let it flow, it kind of creates its own thing. And I think that's like some of the best buildings are usually stuff that, you know, comes up out of the spur of the moment, or, you know, something that somebody just randomly creates without really thinking about what they're doing. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times where, you know, there's some people that plan out their builds and, I mean, it comes out amazing. That windmill is a good example of that. You know, that's something that I don't think, me personally, I would never have come up with all of those ideas to create something like that by free building. I mean, I might have if, you know, I build it and then I step back, look at it, tear some things down, retry. I mean, it would be a lot of building and rebuilding in order to come up with something like that. But I hope one day that, you know, my building level, my building skills will kind of get to that point. I don't ever consider myself a master builder. There are people out there that's basically what they do. For Minecraft, you know, they just do these massive immersive builds that people actually hire them to, you know, come onto their servers and build stuff, and that's awesome. And I would love to do that at one point, you know, just go on and kind of contribute my style and my building to something like that. But for now, this is what we do. And I'll tell you, I mean, Minecraft, it's such a joy to come in and be able to sit down and, you know, talk with you guys and be able to create this kind of stuff. I always say that it's a way to really express somebody's creativity, especially, you know, with somebody like me. I grew up with Legos and Lincoln Logs and stuff like that. So it's kind of it's a game that lets you express yourself through these types of builds, but it's also almost like a nostalgia kind of thing for me, because, you know, it brings back when I used to sit in my room and try and construct these crazy things out of these little Lego bricks and stuff. So it's definitely something that I enjoy. We might not have enough stone here, so I might have to go ahead and get some smelting up. Let's do this, and we'll go ahead and throw some in the furnace and get that going. That way it'll be ready for us when we need it. There we go. So where was I at? It's over here. So again, you know, we're just gonna kind of build this building and see what it looks like. With the interior, torches. I'm gonna need some torches. With the interior, again, we're not gonna have a lot of room in here. It's basically gonna almost be a 2-wide walk. So it's gonna be right there. That strip all the way down is all the room we're gonna have in here. So there's not a lot of room to do anything like windows or details like that on this level. But I think we could leave this open here, and then once I get all my junk cleared out, that'll be, you know, a little bit of a view that we could have. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me see, that one I had to keep. These I had to get rid of here. So what we will have is a little area right here. So we could probably leave this as a window, just to let in a little bit of natural light. It's always nice to have that. So let's see, we've got this. We've got the bottom basically buttoned up. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and move up to the top. Now, here in the beginning, it's going to look really monotone, right? Because it's just nothing but stone and stone brick, and it's just, it never looks good in the beginning. It really doesn't. But what we'll do is once we get everything kind of laid out, we'll come back through, we'll add some variances to the stonework, and we'll add in some color with the wood. But right here, all I'm doing is just basically getting an outline of where my stone's going to be, kind of making sure that it's not going to interfere with anything that I've got going up here. Don't believe it's going to. It looks like I've, for once, planned this out correctly. This window is also nice because I can just jump out here and grab what I need. So let's grab a little bit more of this. Let's eat something real quick. And we're going to need some more spruce logs. We'll go ahead and grab 2 stacks. And we'll head on back up, and we'll continue this right around here. But I think what I'm going to do is in the corners, I'm going to do a little bit of wood in the corners just to kind of break up the color a little bit. Because again, we don't want the entire building gray, even though these are really monotone buildings. I want to change them. You know, I want to keep the basic structure of it, but I want to add a lot more detail. Like this, it'll still be a 2-story building. It'll still probably be wood up top and the stone down below. But there's a lot you can do to it. Maybe punch out this side right here and add like a little terrace or something like that. You know, there's a lot of little things that can add a whole bunch of detail. You know, I always say the big things are really nice. I mean, you know, you walk up and it's just something, bam, right in your face, and that's awesome. It's the little details that you don't notice a lot of times that actually make the build look so much better, because even though you don't notice them, you kind of do, you know, if that makes any sense. You know, landscaping and little, oh, he's gonna knock me off again if I'm not quick. Landscaping and you know, little details, flowers here and there, or maybe a flower pot, or you know, like, it's the little things in Minecraft that can make the biggest impact when you're talking about detail. For this area, for example, you know, you've got these pathways and everything, but then see this little waterfall that's coming down here, and it's kind of just pulling on the ground. It's something I'm going to deal with later. If you turn this with just a little bit of work into an actual waterfall, made it a little bit thicker as it comes down there, maybe 2 or 3 wide, and then dig this out into a little pond, put some lily pads and, you know, a little bit of shrubbery around the edges of it, and then all of a sudden you've just created, you know, a landscape out of that. So it's little details that I really enjoy when I do these builds. And I do have a tendency to build big, as you can probably tell. Every time I try to do like a small build, it always comes out massive. Now here, we didn't hit this on the other side, so am I off by 1? Well, we'll see what happens. Need to put that in there, put a couple blocks there. So yeah, you know, we're just gonna kind of work on this. I hope this isn't too boring for y'all. But the past couple videos, I've been doing a lot of time lapses, and maybe, you know, maybe y'all prefer the time lapses. Let me know down in the comments if you would rather me do these builds in a time lapse, or if you kind of enjoy just, you know, following along and watching me build these and trying not to die with all these holes and death traps that I basically got built for myself here. Now, here's a question. Did I I did. I built this and it's 1 block short on this side compared to that side, which is an issue. But we can fix that real quick. Maybe. And again, this is what happens when you free build. You know, you kind of run into situations like this. So what have I got here? I've got, is that, it's like 2 block, so I need to go down 2 blocks here. Yeah, do that, and then we'll do the same over here, and then we can kind of fill in the gaps. So should be 2 blocks there. And this is actually nice because it means I can extend this platform over just a little bit, because it was tight right here, and I kind of wanted to put in some storage and a few other things once we get up here. And this will basically be the roof level, so the roof will go over top of this. But for now, what's gonna be the easiest way to do this? I'm guessing no, because that's a half slab. Let me jump down here real quick. Yeah. So I guess what we're gonna do, I'm gonna half slab it, and it's getting dark, so I'm gonna have to jump down and sleep in the bed again. That's another thing I've got to do in this area is I've got to work on the lighting, like I did in the other areas that we worked on. Trying to get a little safer over here, because it has been pure madness building this. And truthfully, I should have took the time and went ahead and did some lighting and fixed the area just so I wasn't getting blown up all the time. But you know, it's one of them things where you're trying to rush to get something done and you don't really want to stop to do this one thing that you need to do, even though you know it'll help you get the task at hand completed. So let's sleep again real quick, and then we'll kind of step back and take a look at what we've got going on so far. All right, so let's take a look. Again, very monotone. I mean, it's just a gray building at this point, but we are going to add some stuff. I want to add some stuff that comes off the sides and everything, a little bit of detail, to make this really look like a center focal point to this area. Right now it's just a square concrete mess, but let's make sure what we've got going on over here is correct. I believe it is. Let me step back and take a look. So here, and we're running a half slab into the very top log, and then on the other side it should be the same. It's not. The half slab is on top of the log. That's an easy fix. Okay, I like it better the way it looks on the other side anyway. So what we'll do is we'll jump up here, we'll fix this real quick. All we got to do, build a little pillar up. We'll knock this block out and we'll add a log. There we go, and that fixes that problem. So now what we've got to do is just do that same process on this side and we should be good. Again, free building, this is kind of the stuff you run into, but it's just the way I build. So maybe one day I'll start actually planning out my builds and not having to run into these situations. So we're just going to continue on up with the stone. Nothing fancy. That's slow. Let's do it this way. And then we'll start adding in some details, some windows and stuff like that. I'm hoping that once we get done with this building, it'll kind of fit with the area. Kind of work myself into a corner. Let's do this. There we go. And please, okay. Thought I was out of cobble there for a minute. I was like, no. So we'll continue right along with this wall here. Finish off the trim there. And then we'll jump over, and I'm going to do that one time, not pay attention to my heart, and that's going to be it. So let's do this. Add that top piece there. Apparently fall down. And there we go. So that wall's done. That'll be the back wall. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to step back, look at it, and then I want to add in some details, right? So, all right. So let's try that again. Y'all gonna watch me fall a lot. Yeah, see. Do a little crouch position here that way. All right, so let's just knock this out real quick. And I don't want a square window. I need to go over one more block. Just trying to get it centered right now. The best that we can. Okay, that's looking okay. Now I think what I want to do is what we'll do is we'll come up and we'll knock out this right here, right? And then we'll come across here and then there. Maybe? How's that look? Let's step back, take a look at it. No, I don't like that. I really hate builds where you have two as your center point instead of just a single center point, because there's so much more you can do with a single center point, if I can speak today. But I think what we could do to make this look a little bit better, let's take these out. And what we'll do is we'll come across here. I don't like any of this. Okay. I wish I had just like one more block. Like if I come down one more block, which I could, but you'll see the rail, which I guess would kind of be okay. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I'm gonna come down one more block right here, and then we'll frame this out. So we'll take this out and we'll frame this with our wood. Do the same on this side. Just kind of frame it out a little, not like that. Like that, right? Yeah, that's looking much better. And then I think what we'll do now, maybe, is we'll come, nope, not that. We'll come down with this, and again, I'm gonna change all of this. Probably put maybe some cracked stone like that over there, or some mossy stone. So all this will get textured once the build is done. For me, it's a lot easier to come and texture it once it's done than to try and texture it as you go, because it's just too many blocks to deal with. It's easier just to get you know, a couple stacks of mossy stone and then come through and just knock blocks out, put them back in, versus trying to have your inventory full of, you know, 20 or 30 different types of blocks. So I think that'll work. I kind of like that. And then we'll do a nice stained glass right there. Yeah, that'll work. I'm good with that. All right, so we'll continue on. Again, I'm gonna just put down our stone right here. And I'm definitely not going to have enough for this side. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I will build this wall up with you guys, kind of show you what I'm going to do here, and then I'm going to cut away, finish this section here, because this side is going to pretty much be just a copy of this side, and then I'm just going to fill that in. So we'll design this one right here. I'll cut away, finish this, and then we'll head up top and kind of work on the roof. Alright, and now that we've got this completed, let's go ahead and jump up here and I'll show you what we've got going on. So we've got the top and the bottom, which are two different woods, and I really like the top, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with that bottom wood. It just fits in better with the village and what's already here, and I think overall once we get this build done, it's going to look a lot better, a whole lot better. So what we're going to do is we're going to frame out these windows right here in stone, and we're going to do a little bit more work to them, a little bit more detail to kind of make them stand out a little bit more. And I'm going to continue with this darker wood along the bottom, just to kind of match up what's already here. And you know, we're going to finish up this side and get it looking good. Unfortunately, I believe we're running out of time for this episode. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here. We're going to finish up, get it right. There we go. So we're going to finish up this this build on the next episode, and when we come back, we'll finish this, and we'll go ahead and probably start working on the rest of the village in the episode after that. And that way we can go ahead and get some of our trading halls, get our trading hall done, get everything kind of set up and ready for the finish the village, and we can continue on with the series, because I'm really looking forward to getting that portal right there lit and get in there and get some of these new blocks, because I want to incorporate some of them new blocks into this build and a few other builds that we've already got going on. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys here, and I'll catch you in the next episode. We'll finish up this build right here, and we'll get cracking on this this village here, and you know, we'll knock this thing out, and we'll continue with what's going on with this series and get into the nether, get those blocks that we want. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope y'all have a great day.